Other eyeshadow palettes from Flower Nose Moonlight Mermaid collection worth it? Today I am going to give you a breakdown of all of them. Palette 01 Stellar Scent. It has an indigo and sky blue packaging. It's a brown palette with yellow tones. For this palette, there's a difference in the two sparkly shades. The one on the outer end is supposed to be less sparkly than the one on the inside. The one at the outer end has a more pinky champagne base with a mix of gold and silver micro glitter. The one on the inside has a more peachy brown champagne base with tons of silver and gold micro glitter. For this palette, the browns are a little bit too yellow for my liking. Standard brown palette, even the shimmers are mainly very neutral and everyday kind of bases, very champagne. Palette 2 Celestial Castle. It has a multi-colored packaging, pretty dreamy and lovely, probably my favorite packaging out of the lot. Also your everyday brown palette, but the difference between this and 01 is that 01 has yellow tones while this one has red tones. Lighter brown matte shade in this palette also has a little bit of red tones to it. Sparkly shade in this palette is a more blinding glitter. Slight champagne pink base with tons of gold and silver micro glitter with a little bit of pink micro glitter. Palette 03 Ocean Siren, mainly blue and pink packaging. Kind of reminded me of their palette 05 from the Strawberry Rococo collection, especially the two pink and green shades on the outer end. The shades from Strawberry Rococo palette 5 are much brighter and more lively. Shades from Moonlight Mermaid 03 are more muted and toned down. Palette 03 out of the 5 palettes has a more girly and lively vibe. It has fun colors like pink and green. The sparkly shade in this palette is also the more blinding kind. However, I don't know if it's just mine or me, but the sparkly shade feels very hard to pick up either with a brush or with my fingers, but I definitely prefer using my finger to pick it up, but you do have to go in to get the glitter. It's weird. Transparent base with a mix of mainly gold and green micro glitter and a little bit of silver and pink micro glitter. Very blinding, but feels very underwhelming because of how hard it is to work with. Palette 04 Mermaid's Dream, a mix of light blue, pink and light purple packaging. I really like these two shades right here, the lilac and the periwinkle. Happen to be what I have on my eyes today. The lilac on all over my lids and the periwinkle shade on my under eyes. Sparkly shades, however, in this palette are the more muted down kind, not the blinding kind of glitters, which is the very underwhelming part for me. This sparkly pink shade, unlike how it seems in the pen, you might think it is a pink glitter, but it's not. Light white and gold base with tons of gold and greenish shimmer with a little bit of gold micro glitter. Nothing like how it looks in this pen. Purple sparkly shade is also a more muted down kind of glitter. It has almost a slight pink shimmery base with pink and purple micro glitter, but that purple micro glitter kind of looks blue in some other angles. A little bit different than what I thought it was. Palette 05 Moonlight Land. It has a mix of white and sky blue packaging. For one reason or another, I have been very into blue palettes or blue eyeshadows in general recently. This was the palette I was most looking forward to, but when I got it, it was such a disappointment. Okay, I was so sad. I created this look with this palette and it took me so much time, patience and a lot of frustration and agony to create this look, to at least make it look okay to look at. Oh, I was so frustrated. I wanted to give up halfway, but I pulled through. The look came through and it looked quite pretty. All that time and effort and pain, I don't think it's worth it. This light blue shade was really hard to work with, a little bit patchy, and I put this as the main color all over my lids, but I did not think that it would have a black base. You do need to have a certain foundation of makeup for you to be able to blend it out seamlessly, and because the shade is also a little bit patchy itself, it takes a ton of time for you to do that work. The two sparkly shades in this palette have a different kind of sparkle intensity. The blue one has a more muted down shimmer glitter, while the silver one is a more blinding sparkle. Silver sparkle has an almost transparent base, ton of silver micro glitter and a bit of blue micro glitter, just a tiny bit. Adding blue micro glitter to the silver sparkly shade makes it really unique. When I look at it on the swatch on my hand, it looks pretty, but because the amount of blue micro glitter in it is so tiny, when you put it on your eyes, I don't think you can tell that there is blue micro glitter in it. Other than this light blue shade, which I found a little bit hard to work with, all the other matte shades from the rest of the palettes were soft and easy to blend. It is important to note that in this collection, there are two intensities of sparkle. Palette 1 has two sparkly shades. The one on the outer end is more shimmery, while the one on the inside is more blinding and more glittery. Palette 2 has only one sparkly shade and it is the more blinding kind of sparkle. Palette 3 has only one sparkly sparkly shade, it is the more blinding kind of sparkle, but I found this particular sparkle really hard to work with. Both of the sparkly shades in palette 4 lean more towards a shimmer. They are not the blinding kind of sparkle. The blue sparkle with a black base in palette 5 lean more towards a shimmer, while this silver shade leans more towards the blinding kind of sparkle. Unfortunately, I do not have a favorite palette out of the 5 this time round. However, ideally, my favorite palette would be palette 1. If you like today's lip color as much as I do, I'll swatch it for you soon. It is one of the lip glosses from Girl Cult. I'll see you soon. Bye!